So, have you ever been driving or riding in a car and felt like the traffic, the noise, bright lights, all the movement, and everything happening around you was just too much? Or maybe you've walked into a grocery store, a restaurant, a party, or a get together, or some other busy environment and suddenly felt just overwhelmed, irritable, or like you just needed to get out of there? Well, if any of this sounds familiar, you may be experiencing what is known as sensory overload, and it can be very common after a stroke. Now, I actually just recently posted a video discussing the concept of neurofatigue and another video touching on the specific challenge of being in crowded places after a stroke and why, certain social situations can feel overwhelming. And in response to the video on neurofatigue, a viewer commented and shared a personal experience about being affected by noise, traffic, lights, etc., and asked me to do a video about that specifically. So let's do it. Now, for a lot of stroke survivors, the experience of what we're calling sensory overload can be a very real and very frustrating part of stroke recovery. So, what is happening exactly? Well, here's the thing, our brains are constantly taking in information from the world around us. Everything we see, hear, feel, smell, and experience throughout the day has to be processed by the brain. Now, before a stroke, a lot of what your brain processed happened automatically and without you really being aware of all the work your brain was doing. It's really incredible when you think about the fact that our brains are constantly deciding, what information is important and what information can be ignored and filtered out so we're not bothered by it. It's really like our brain is acting like our gatekeeper, almost like a bouncer standing outside of a club deciding who gets to come in and who can't. That's our brain. So before the stroke, you didn't have to consciously think about filtering out traffic noise while you're driving. You didn't have to focus on ignoring that conversation happening at the next table in a restaurant. You didn't have to actively tune out like fluorescent lights or people walking by, music playing overhead, that's being piped through a speaker in the store, or all the other things happening around you. Your brain just did all of that filtering and gatekeeping for you automatically. But after a stroke, that filtering system that is your brain may not be working as efficiently as it was before. And when your brain's ability to process and filter information has been affected from the stroke, it's not able to gatekeep for you like it did before. So things you might have been able to handle easily before the stroke are now much harder for you or affect you in ways they never did before. And as a result, your brain may now be trying to process everything at once. Again, the traffic noise, the bright headlights, the activity and movements around you, the conversation you're trying to have, the signs you're trying to read, the people walking around the store, the music playing overhead, the television in the background. I mean, it can be a lot. And when all of that information starts coming at you all at the same time, it can be very overwhelming. Now, for some people, the biggest challenge is more visual overload, the things that you see. This can happen in places with bright lights, flashing lights, lots of movement, like busy stores, crowded environments, or situations where there are just too many things competing for your attention visually, right? So for other people, the bigger issue may be auditory overload, things that you hear, things like traffic noises, multiple conversations happening at once, noisy restaurants, social gatherings, the television being on, um, or something playing on someone's phone or device, music playing, busy public places, all of these things can become overwhelming, irritating, or just exhausting because your brain is having a hard time separating important sound from background sounds that might have normally been filtered out. It can almost feel like everything's coming in at the same volume. And when your brain is trying to process all of that information at once, it takes a tremendous amount of energy. That's why sensory overload can sometimes leave you feeling mentally exhausted, physically drained, irritable, frustrated, anxious, or like you just need a break. But please know that if you're experiencing anything that we're talking about today, you are not alone. And it's not you, it's your brain. This is another one of those invisible conditions that no one really ever will know you're experiencing unless you tell them. Because from the outside looking in, most people don't know what they're seeing when someone is dealing with some form of sensory overload. I mean, people will typically assume something is wrong with you, but not usually in a compassionate or empathetic way. And when people, including the people closest to you, don't understand something, it can really affect how you feel, not only about yourself, but it can affect your confidence in being out in the world. And before you know it, when you start to pull back from doing things and going places, I mean, your life can start to get smaller and smaller as you withdraw from more and more things that you used to do. So, what can you do about it? The number one goal here is going to be trying to reduce unnecessary sensory stimulation whenever possible. So, this might mean you look into wearing noise canceling or noise reducing headphones and earbuds when you know you're going to be somewhere with a lot of noise and distracting sounds. Now, the good thing about this one is that these days, so many people are out there wearing Bluetooth headphones and headsets pretty much everywhere you go. So no one would look twice at you or know that you're wearing yours to reduce noise. You'll just, you'll look cool like you're listening to music, right? And for some of you, using headphones to actually listen to music that you find calming or relaxing can sometimes work too, when you're out and about. For some, it can kind of put you in a different zone that can help block out some of the things going on around you that would normally bother you, right? Now, other things that can help are wearing sunglasses or special shades that kind of reduce or minimize light sensitivity. Obviously, wearing those noise canceling earbuds when you're driving or riding in a car. Another strategy is to try to control your environment when you can. So maybe asking your family or significant other to keep background noises down, like from the TV or from their devices. I mean, you can always ask them to put on some earbuds and headphones instead of, blasting what they're watching or listening to for all to hear. I mean, honestly, I have to deal with this one in my own life because my husband likes to listen to podcasts and different things on YouTube, while he's cooking or washing dishes, and he has the volume cranked up so loud that I can actually hear it even when I'm all the way in the back of the house in another room. And on top of that, one of my kids loves listening to audiobooks without headphones, while he's playing and walking around the house. And I'm always a little sensitive and irritated by all the sounds and noise because I'm someone who needs quiet to really, focus on something or to recharge. But anyway, the point here is that communicating your needs to others can sometimes be a game changer for you. If going to stores, tends to overwhelm you, try going during quieter times of the day, like really early in the morning when they first open, or later in the day, like right before they close. When planning to go to a restaurant, choose quieter, less crowded places if you have a say. Try not to sit right by the door or close to the bar or the bathrooms. Ask for a more like tucked away table or booth that's more private and away from, noisy, high traffic areas of the restaurant. And if you have to attend an event or a party that you know has the potential to be overwhelming, wear your noise reducing earbuds to help cut back on all the auditory stimulation. But most importantly, don't be afraid or feel bad about leaving early. Make an appearance and then get the heck out of there. And if there's an important event or a party happening in honor of a friend or someone that you really care about, make plans to meet up with them separately, one on one, instead of going to the party or the event. Just say, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it to XYZ, but I'd really love to see you. And then meet up at another time to hang out for a bit, or to give them their gift if it's their birthday or something. Just keep it light and simple. You don't have to go into big explanations about why, but if it is someone you trust and is close to you, then if you want to, you can share some of your challenges you experience with the sensory overload when you're in a sensory charged environment, right? Again, try to avoid trying to do a bunch of things at once. Multitasking is actually highly overrated. And if you already know for sure that sensory overload is a thing for you, then giving your brain less information to process at any given time is what you're going to want to have, or what you're going to have to try to do whenever possible. Okay. And please don't underestimate the power and relief that can come from simply taking breaks before you hit your limit and are completely overwhelmed. Make whatever excuses you need to, but step away. Go outside, hide out in the bathroom for a while, find a quiet room to chill out in. Close your eyes for a few minutes, pretend you need to make a phone call, or simply just leave and remove yourself from whatever is overstimulating you any way that you can, to give you and your brain a chance to reset. Just always listen to your body. And if you start to feel those early signs of sensory overload, like feeling irritable, tired, anxious, mentally drained, or having difficulty concentrating, that may be your cue to take a break or try some of the other strategies that we just talked about. And remember, I know I've said this before, but it's true. No one is going to be as protective of your energy as you are. So you must protect it fiercely and without worrying about what other people think or about hurting someone else's feelings. Because going along with things to make sure other people are happy when you're not okay only hurts you. I'm not saying that any of this is an easy thing to do, because it's not, but I am saying that it may become essential for you to get good at setting these kinds of boundaries for the sake of your own recovery, because your mental energy, physical energy, emotional energy are one of the most valuable resources you have during your recovery and in life in general. Okay. So, again, if anything we talked about today, if noises, bright lights, traffic, busy places feel overwhelming to you since your stroke, just remember you are not alone. That sensory overload can be very common after a stroke, and there are things that you can do to help manage it and lessen the intensity of it all. Okay. Please leave me a comment. Let me know if any of this resonates with you, or if you've experienced something like sensory overload since your stroke, and maybe what things you've come up with to help you manage it. All right. As always, I truly hope this was helpful, and I will see you next time. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more DIY videos to help you along the way in your stroke recovery. Struggling at home? Have a question? Leave me a comment. I'm here to help.